All right, guys and gals, it's time to continue our railroading adventures. You remember a while back, it's been several videos ago, we took the Barstow to Wasco coal train over to Tehachapi Mountains. We dropped it off up in Wasco. Now it's time to take the empties back. That's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to do this a little different, though. This is one of the scenarios I could imagine might play out. I'm not sure how they did it in real life, but what we're going to do is we're going to start out with our light engines down in Bakersfield. We're going to run them up to Wasco, pick up the empty train, and then head back to Bakersfield. So it should be a nice little trip. Let's go ahead and hop in our power. We'll get started. First, we got to claim the train. That might actually help. There we go. Now that's ours. And let's hop in. We're set. Windows are open. Everything's good to go. Let's release the handbrakes. Set the reverser and do the headlights. Nice. All right, I think we're set. Yeah, there's a few different ways they could have done this. I don't know how they did it in real life. You know, some of the ways from like my personal experience, I can imagine them doing that. They of course, they could just leave the engines on the train, right, until it's unloaded and then bring them back. Or they could cut the power off and have like another southbound pick them up and bring the power back to Bakersfield, or the crew. Now, the way we played it out was that we swapped crews here at Bakersfield, right? Like we ran all the way from Barstow to Bakersfield, and then we swapped crews here at Bakersfield. So in my mind, thinking that's a fresh crew, they could take it up there, they could drop the train off, and then they could have brought the power back themselves, right? Because they had plenty of time. And I, like, personally, I don't see the sense in just letting power sit around if it's going to be a few days. So, you know, never say never. There's several scenarios that could have played out as, but this is the way we're going to do it. So it's going to be cool because we're going to be able to do like some 70-mile-an-hour running up to Wasco, and then pick up the train and bring it back. All right. We've got a few things to take care of. We've got to get auto going. So let's do that. Let's engage auto. And let's go to our map. Let's see, what is going to be our radio channel up here? I don't know. I can't make it out. What does that say? Something 51 maybe? I'm not sure. We'll look at it in a minute when all that stuff clears out. We'll keep easing up there. Yeah, we'll have to get a light at that dwarf. There we go. It's going to be channel 84, tone 51. Okay. Let's do that then. Let's see. We do it over here. Channel 84. There we go. Nice. All right. All right. We'll tone him up. We'll see what he says. Light dispatcher, we need a light, please. He may not know what to do, honestly. Like, I mean, he's going to know to take us north. Yeah. Okay, there we go. We got our light. He's going to know to take us north, but he's going to route us past Wasco, so we'll have to remember that. Yeah, we'll have to remember that. We don't want to go by Wasco by mistake. We won't be able to stop on time for that. All right, let's kill the bell. And let's get our HUD up. One more time. There, that's better. All right, track speed's 15 through here. We'll be able to do line speed in a minute. I thought it said 222 feet. Yeah, it's going to be a fun train, guys. We're going to enjoy this. Light engines are cool. I don't know how many of you guys actually run light engines, but light engines are super cool. They'll just work you to death, man. It's like it's either constantly slowing down or speeding up. There's no in between. It's like every little hill, you'll know it. You'll know when you hit every little hill, every little dip in a track, every little rise. You'll absolutely know when you hit it. I kept thinking he'd cross us over at some point, but he may not. Nice. Now we got 60 mile an hour running. We got the flashing yellow though. We can't forget about that. It's really super easy. Be like, oh yeah, we can do 60 now. And then you're like, oh, forgot about the signal. See what we got up here. Got to clear. Okay, so we're good to go. Yeah, if you haven't run Lite engines before in game, I would absolutely look for ways to do that. They're a completely different experience. And you remember in our last video that we did down southeast, we met some Lite engines. We met them at, I think it was at Talbotton. We met the X001. The X001 was a regular for us. We're getting too fast too. Spur's not paying attention. They'll get away from you really fast. There we go. Slow them back down a little bit there. Yeah, you gotta stay on your toes. But yeah, X001 was regular for us for several years. Several years we ran the X001. And it was always interesting how they took that train. They would either run it as a train on its own, or sometimes they would put it on another train. They would just have a train. Like a lot of times they would put it on, if they did put it on a train, they'd put it on 124. Which was a pig. Never made sense to me about that. They would put it on a 684. I remember having it on 124, 684, and 180. They put it on 180 one time, which made no sense either because the engines were going to Boyle's yard in Birmingham, but 180 went to East Thomas to be an SF yard. So like we had to stop at this place called 13th Street and like cut the engines out, and like it was a whole big mess, and it was right at the NS crossing, and they didn't care for that either. Like they didn't like us making switching moves and cutting engines out across their diamond. So it was like a whole big deal. All right, we can actually do 70 now. Kind of blows my mind that we can do that through this switch though. Yeah, we just got a straight up clear. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That seems a little fast through that switch. I don't know. That should have been like a 50 mile an hour switch, I think. That seemed like super fast. All right, now we can do 70. Says we can do 75, but I don't agree with that. I think, I don't know what the BNSF rules are, but I think 70 would probably be the maximum authorized speed. I wouldn't think it would be 75. I want to say for ours back in the day it was 70. They used to run Lite engines between Jacksonville and Waycross too. It wasn't an X series train though. It was something different. I can't remember what it was called. All right, we rolling. There we are. She's going. She'd get like a scalded dog. She'd get up there really quick. This shouldn't be too bad. Shouldn't be too bad of a trip. We do have a few meets to make. It's not a crazy busy day on the railroad, but we do have a few meets. But anyway, back to the X001 and the Lite engines and stuff. So sometimes, as I said earlier, they would put them on other trains. Like you would just have them in your consist. I remember having the 124 one time with like 10 engines. I think 684 we had like 12 engines. It varied, and a lot of that depended on a huge deciding factor on that was if we just had if we had enough crews or not. If we had a crew shortage and we didn't have enough, then they would combine the X001 with another train. Sometimes they would do that down south between Manchester and Waycross. So they would call the X001 out as the X001 as a train, and then when it would get up to about Talbotton or Woodland or Brownsend, they'd have them stop, and they would combine it with a northbound that like one is running behind them, and then the crew would just deadhead up there the rest of the way. It was weird how they did it. Like, I get why, but I totally get why. Railroad operations are so fluid. I don't think people realize like how many factors go into why they do certain things. Like I said, crew shortages, I've seen them reroute trains all the way through Savannah because of crew shortages on our side. You know, of course, everyone thinks about curfews and derailments rerouting trains, but I thought we had a crossing up here. Everyone thinks about derailments and like curfews and stuff like that as far as being a big factor for rerouting trains, but crew availability was another one too. And there was a while where we had like chronic problems with crew availability. Like, we just didn't have anyone available. And so they would reroute trains through Atlanta and back around that way. Like, I think how they would take them is they'd run them through Atlanta. Like, they would come down from Nashville to Atlanta, and then they'd go the Georgia road to Augusta, and then Augusta down to Savannah, and then down around that way. It was crazy how they did it. All right, now we got a crossing coming up. There we go. This is a good route to run a light engine move on. It's pretty flat. The grades aren't too crazy. You guys taking a sweet time getting across. There he goes. Trying to get milepost tags on so we at least have a little better idea where we're at. All right, we're at Una. I think we've got a few more sightings, right? Maybe Una, Shafter, and then Wasco. Okay. And as far as running light engines, of course, you know, maintain speed with throttle modulation. You can use independent, feather it on and off. You know, you just don't want to slam on the independent and lock the wheels up and slide on. Like, you just feather them on and off. It's not a big deal. You can use dynamic too if you got enough of a grade to do it. Yeah, this is such an awesome route. I love it. I really hope it eventually continues north. I would love to see that. It's a different kind of running, right? The West Coast is mostly associated with mountain railroading. You know, you just put it in whatever notch and just let it go. I always love, I love a lot of throttle modulation. I like a lot of work, keeps you busy, makes time go by really fast. All right, let's get by the DD. Hopefully we'll be all right. Should be. I don't know of anything that could possibly get us.
DNSS detector milepost 900.0. Ambient temperature 77 degrees.
Of course, light engines, we could just run with one online. We could take the others offline. We could run with them all online. That's what we're doing right now. I figured, like, since we're just going right up here to pick up the train and then come right back south, and just run with them online. But I don't know. They get so picky about that stuff. I remember on the X001, we would run with 1 or 2 of the 8 online. I think everything else would be dead in tow. All right, we had a flash in yellow, so I guess we need to start slowing down a little bit here. See if I can peek our next lights. Got approach, so we're gonna be stopping up here. Probably our first beat, I would imagine. You see with dynamics, she stops on a dime, man. She just slows down like crazy. Nice little graveyard over there. That's a cool detail. All right, yeah, we do have a stop, and this is that place with the short block. I remember this place. This block's only like 4,000 feet. If we were running with a tonnage train northbound, like in this scenario, and we had this kind of signal set up, man, you would really have to kind of get on it. Like, you would have to draw the air down pretty good. You can see it's not, yeah, it's not very far at all. I think the map might tell you 4,700 feet, not even a mile. So you imagine running along 70 and you get the approach, at least you get the approach medium, so that helps. They give you a little bit of warning. I wonder why is he not taking his own down? Like, why are we stopping at the crossover? We've got the whole siding. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. That doesn't quite make sense, but okay. All right, we'll keep easing up there. Someone was asking in the last video about headlight usage, dimming a light, all that stuff, if it's a courtesy at the engineer's discretion. I don't know what they do now. I don't know what the rules say on that. I kind of doped out that they tend to use the headlight on bright as much as possible, I think, because like people are so sue happy now, you know, like something could happen and then they could say, oh, their headlight wasn't on bright, you know, so we're going to, like, it's crazy. I don't know what they do now. Back in the day, you know, of course at night we would dim on meets. But during the day, not so much. Not so much really, because it didn't really affect you during the day, you know, so not so much, but at night, yeah. All right, well, I guess we'll wait here a bit. I don't know why we can't go on down. I guess we could tone him up, right? See what he says. Maybe he's got a track light or something. How about you just enjoy, what did he say? How about you just enjoy a nice old can of hurry up and wait? Are you kidding me? This dude's an a-hole. Really? Like, seriously, this dispatcher, man. Never fails, right? Like in real life, if we didn't tone them up, they'd be like, why didn't you tone me up? But it's like, man, you can't win. Seriously, you can't win. Well, we're waiting on someone. I guess we'll skip ahead to the meet. There we go. All right, we got a light. Let's go. Yeah, that whole deal is kind of interesting. At least for light engines, like we can get going really fast. All right, so diverging approach. Shaft and crossover. I guess this guy didn't clear up, maybe? It looks like he cleared. Yeah, he cleared up. We got to clear down there. All right. Nice. Slot freight. Yeah, I looked up the whole red light, or headlight, not red light, headlight debate on train orders, and they're talking about, someone said, recent change due to railroads' fear of litigation, headlights on bright on all moving trains during daylight hours. Yeah, I could totally see that. I could totally see that. Something could happen and then they wind up getting sued because, you know, headlight wasn't being used. I could totally see that this day and time. Nice. He's got those Richmond coil steel cars. Those should be all empty though. If they're coming from Richmond, they should be empty. All right, trade shafter looks good. Marker's hanging. Make sure we still got our light. It didn't drop on us. Yeah, this might be a little bit of a long video, guys, but it'll be all right. This is honestly one of my favorite jobs we've run so far. Man, I need to tamp that switch. We rocking and rolling through there. Did you guys see American Truck Simulator Kansas comes out tomorrow? I might have to jump on that and maybe do a video. I hadn't been in ATS in a long time. Yeah, I haven't been in ATS in forever. It may be time to jump back in there and check out Kansas. Kansas honestly is one of those, like, I'm always glad to see new content. Like, yeah, I don't ever knock that. But Kansas is not one, like, I'm just super stoked about. I'm like, okay, Kansas, yeah, cool. We got some more roads to drive on, you know, but I'm not knocking Kansas. Kansas is a great state. Personally, never been to Kansas, even though I live not very far away from it at all. Like, it's not too terribly far away. Went to a party at a friend's house, a ranch out in the middle of nowhere, and their ranch was in like view of the Kansas state line, but we didn't go over there. Didn't have no reason to. All right, we can run now. And the part of Kansas that I'm closest to, like the western part, it's like here. It's no different than where I live. Like, there's nothing out there, right? Man, look at that, get up and go. Yeah, she'll flat out go. All right, so next stop should be Wasco. I do think next stop. Okay, yeah, this is what we're going to do. And we may have kind of messed ourselves up a little bit here. We're going to turn him off and we're going to drop the light at north end of Wasco. Really, we kind of need to drop it here at the south end. There we go. We got an approach. Yeah, okay. We kind of, yeah. By doing that, we eliminated the advanced warning, but it's fine. We're light engines. We'll stop, no problem. Go ahead and come out of the throttle. I think, is that the south? I guess that's the south end right there. Is this only got one block, one intermediate block in between? Between Shafter and Wasco, maybe? I'm not sure. No, because I gave, okay, yeah, I took the signal. All right, so that's the distant. Okay, that's the distant to Wasco. All right, that's fine. Sorry, I had a brain fart for a second there. I was thinking, for like a second, I was thinking we were looking at the south end of Wasco. I was like, that's not right. It's on around the curve up there. Sweet, good trip. I told y'all that would be an awesome trip. We're not done yet. We gotta grab our train and go back the other direction. In fact, let's get our next train. Let's get our next train spawned in here. Where's it at? There it is. Let's go ahead and get him in. Spawn is AI. He should be good to go now. I don't know. I can't remember. Do we need a light on the south end, or is this? I can't remember if that storage track comes out south of the power switch or north of it. We'll see when we get up there. You know what? Let's go on and give ourselves a light. It's not going to hurt either way. And after running 70 with these light engines, seems like we're crawling now. Yeah, it should be just up around his curve here, I think. Road. You guys that play Run 8, do you ever go in Google Earth and look at the locations? Alright, yeah, it's a good thing I gave us a light. Because it is north of the power switch, so that worked out. Alright. All right, got an approach. Let's get on up here. We'll line ourselves in and we'll be good to go. We'll have to hang our EOT. I don't know if we're going to worry about a brake test. This thing's been taken apart and put back together for the unloading, but I don't know if we'll go through all that trouble. There we go. Feather them on off just a little bit. Ease up here so the conductor won't have to walk too terribly far. Honestly, we could. Nah, we'll wait. We'll wait. I was going to say we could just run down their light engine and hang the EOT and then come back to the other end. But you know what? Yeah, we'll just do it this way. We could though. We could run down there. We could technically say like we got the EOT on the porch. We could run down there to the other end, hang it, and then come back. And yeah, we're not going to worry about that. Yeah, let's ease her on down. I like these aluminum hoppers. Nah, stop a little short. I was trying to finesse it in there. All right, there we go. We couple up. Let's hop down. We'll have to get the other end. Let's go ahead and kill the headlights. Put it in neutral. Right? It's from a song. You might know. You might know. Probably not, but you might. Let's go to the other end. It is empty, right? Yeah, it's empty. All right. So we'll make sure. Want to make sure it's empty. I don't... Yeah, none of the air hoses are laced. I should have done that before when I place this thing. Like, a lot of times if I place a cut like this, I'll go ahead and like, do the cheat to lace them all and then that sort of thing, but totally forgot. All right, let's attach our EOT. Angle cock is open. Everything laced up. Alright, so yeah, because of that, the air's cut in. That's the only thing. Like, if they were pre-laced, then we could have cut the air in ourselves. That sort of thing. It's not that big of a deal. We need to swap ends. Make that one our leader. Everything else looks good. Alright, let's hop in that one. Alright, let's see. What do we got? Yeah, I should have placed that cut. I should have laced the air hoses and then released, just like knocked off, you know, because right now the entire cut's got the handbrakes on. Usually what I like to do is release them and then tie on like 10% or whatever. We got them all. It's fine. Do have to have the window open though. That's muy importante. Get the window open. What's our air look like? Let's just do full independent. She's not going anywhere. Release the handbrake. We should be good to go. I think we are. I think we're good to go. Let's pull out on the main first, and then we'll talk to Otto. What about that horn? Yeah, yeah, we'll go with that. I like that. That's okay. We'll go with that. I don't know if it's accurate or not, but it's good enough for me. Spur don't split hairs too much. As soon as we pull through, we'll activate auto. There you go. Auto activate now. Sweet. I don't know what our channel is supposed to be. Just feather independent. Oh, we got a light. What? Really? He automatically gave us a light. Okay. Well, you know what? Never mind. We need to count that off because we're gonna have to get that switch back. We're 40, almost 4,700 feet. Sounds pretty good. I dig that chug. Yeah, I dig that chug. That sounds good. All right, keep easing on around here. Good trip though. It's a lot of fun. This is one, if you guys haven't done this, I would definitely do it. You might could do this with the grain trains on here too. I'm not sure exactly how those ops work. They may keep their power. There are several locations on here where they unload those big earthworms. Another way we could have done this train, we could say, you could say the power was taken back to Bakersfield, but then the next, like when the train is ready to be picked up, they could put the power on a northbound, like a slot freight or a pig or whatever. And when it passes through Wasco, they just set the power over in the storage track and then go on about their business, and the power is waiting on the next crew, you know. There, like I said, there's so many factors. There's so many different things that could go into this. It's like crew-wise on this, would the crew just run it all the way over the Tehachapi Mountains, or would they just do a quick trip and take it to Bakersfield and then get a new? I don't know. Like, I would think they would go ahead and take it over the Tehachapi Mountains. The only thing I do is that power and crew management can get really convoluted. That horn's pretty sweet. I like that. Like I said, I don't think that may not be accurate, but let's see what it is. Let's hit Control F3. D9K3. Yeah, that may be. I know. I want to say I've heard that horn around here on a Transcon. Something similar to that. All right, we're getting pretty close. There we go. We're clear. We should be clear of that switch because we started counting a little bit late. All right, I think that's good. Let's go back there and get that switch. Do you guys that play Run 8, do you walk, like, do you actually stay on the ground and walk regular speed, like not even run? I think I've heard of people doing that before, like just walking and not, like, never leaving the ground, right? Just... That's pretty cool, but it's way too hardcore for me. Like, I did it enough in real life. I don't want to do it again. All right, got that switch lined and locked. It'd be cool if we could lock it. Do the whole thing, right? Like have a little lock you could put on there or something. Do the whole 9 yards. Switch is lined and locked. For the main line. All right, let's hop back in. Let's go. Let's get out of here. So yeah, it says we're a 55-mile-an-hour train. I don't know, being SF. I think someone said that in some places, like some of the coal train, like the empties do 60 maybe. I don't know. I have no clue. 55 seems like an odd number to me, but all right. We got the 1012. I guess that's how you would call it. I like all our engine numbers were like 55s or 85s, 86s, 84s, 82s, 80s, 60s. Like we never, I don't ever remember being on anything like that low in the numbers. I think everything we had that was that low in a number range, I think we're butt heads. I'm kind of worried about our next signal. Like we had a clear. But we also delayed, so we may need to ease around there looking out. We didn't delay that long. Like in real life, it would have been a lot longer delay. Having to walk and do all that stuff, but... All right, so what do we got? What's our train? 4680, 2,000 tons, 6.6 HPT, 84 empties. They could, I mean, considering this is such a light train, it's got so much HPT on it, they could technically like isolate some of that power and not use it until they get to the Tehachapi's. I mean, really. And they would probably do that. Like I would think they made us start, like our empty coal trains always had 2 units on it because we only ran the 2 ACs loaded and empty. It was always 2 ACs. When I hired out for like the first, for a good while, we were able to run with both units online empty. And then right before I left, that was, in fact, this is like the first time I ever remember them harping about fuel. Right before I left the railroad. All right, we got to clear. Right before I left the railroad, they started making us shut the second unit down, and that sucked. Like before, like when we ran with 2 ACs online on an empty coal train, you know, 85 cars, give or take, 88. They were little rockets. They were good trains. Like you could get over the road pretty good with them. But when they started making us isolate one of them, it turned it into a really draggy train, you know. And I was like, that sucks. That really sucks. We could isolate one, right? I don't know if I want to or not, to be honest. Like I'm kind of debating it. Maybe. What do we want to do? You know what? Go big or go home. We'll isolate it. We'll do it. That's still 4.4. That's actually really good. On CSX, they'd have us. They'd probably have you isolate 2 of the 3. That would suck. I'm not. Yeah. We're just going to isolate the 1. All right, let's go. We got to clear. We can go on. We can go on with it. It makes me a little antsy. Like we didn't talk to Otto. He didn't know to give us Lite. I guess he just assumed. Yeah, I love this horn, man. This thing really... I think we used this before we were on this route. Man, was that turbo ramping up? Yeah, we got another clear. Scooch over a little bit here. That's pretty cool. I hardly ever do external views. I don't know why. I don't ever think about it. I just run the train, right? Nice. Nice. That's pretty cool. Yeah, she doesn't run too bad. She doesn't run too bad even with that one unit isolated. Still clears, yeah, okay, man, I guess he knows, right? I guess he knows. I don't know how he knows, but he knows. Dispatcher know where you've been and where you're going. It's like the missile. Knows where you're going because of where you've been. Yeah, it's by far my favorite West Coast sub. Without a doubt. And then followed by the one that goes into LA. I don't know what that one's called. That's a pretty good one too. East Laredo. Nice. Yeah, I got another clear. Beautiful day to railroad. I would imagine it would be pretty nice railroading in California, like weather-wise, at least Southern California, in the valley. Not Donner. Donner would totally suck, right? Donner would totally suck in the wintertime. And Needles through the Mojave, like that would suck too, but the Valley and LA probably not too bad weather-wise. That bell is really quiet. I can hardly hear it. There, I got another clear. We'll have to do our routing in Bakersfield because we're going to, I don't know, we may run through and just end it. We may stop. We may just run through, actually. We should have another meet coming up at some point. I'm not exactly sure where that's going to be. I'm hoping it's sooner than later. I want you guys to see that train because it's something kind of special. It's definitely different. A little bit of a downhill here. It's just about flat as a pancake. What, the steepest grade is like, what, 0.3? Maybe. Yeah, we're going to cheat a little bit and peak that next meet. Yeah, he's still a little ways out. Honestly, he's a little further out than what I thought he would be. Little further out. We may go until we meet him. I want to meet that other train. I want you guys to see it. It's always fun running alongside highways like this. And be like, what's up? Yeah, that was always fun. Trains always catch people's attention, right? Like they're supposed to. You're supposed to know. Bad things happen when you don't know. They always catch people's attention. You always, like, when you run alongside a highway like this, like, you'd always have, like, kids waving or trying to get you to blow the horn or whatever. There, I got our first DD up here. This is where we'll find out if we got a handbrake. Somewhere in the train could very well be a thing because this is a train, like, it's not unloaded as one unit. You know, what they do is they break it apart and they unload a few cars and then set them over and grab a few more, that sort of thing. So there could be potential for a handbrake on a train like this for sure, I would think. got up here? Another clear. Man, that blows my mind. Like, how does he know? Because usually, like, when you load up, if you load up a game and you've already got a light and you talk to Otto, like, usually you always have to talk to him at the next control point to continue on. Like, it's just the way it works out. But this one, I don't know. Like, I guess it's because we had already called him going the other direction and now he's just flipped us back the other way. Someone done had a wreck. They still hadn't cleaned that up. Try to brighten their day a little bit from their car accident. Una. It's the one sighting. Trying to think of any other jobs like this we could do. We've done a rock train before on the Fitz. You remember a while back we did the rock train. That was good. Pretty similar. Took engines and picked it up. And actually the engines were already at the plant. They were just cut off. They're at the rock quarry. Need to go back down to LA sub. I think it'd be fun to run a stack train heading for Long Beach. I think that would be a good one. That might be one we have to tackle. We have to take that on. See, like that whistle post was way back. Like some of them seem like they're a little bit on the close side, and that one seems like it's way back there. Raina Road. Don't you do it. You're a railroad employee, dude. You better stop. You better stop. He's gonna lose his job. Let's go up here and watch it by real fast. We hardly ever do that, right? We hardly ever watch them by at speed. Let's wish he's a little louder. Nice. Sounds good, doesn't it? That sounds really good. This is a sound pack a friend sent to me. I have no clue where they got this from or anything about it. It was purely something like it was sent to me, hey, you might like this, and sent to me, and I was like, oh, cool, yeah, I'll throw that in. It sounds absolutely amazing, though. It really just does. Let's see. Let's double check our speed here. Make sure we're not... Yeah, we're fine. That's cool. Love it. We need to do that more. All right, she's getting a little fast on us there. Let's rein her back in just a tad. Like I said, if you do get a little bit over, at least back in the day, it wasn't that big of a deal, but it may be now. All right, got another clear. Track speed still 55. We're just a little ways out. We're not too terribly far away. See what our meat's doing. Yeah, we might make that meat. We might make that meat. Man, it took him forever to get to bait. Man, yeah, that's a long time. That I spawned that train in, like, literally he was doing his... Well, no, we waited a bit. Yeah, we should have gone ahead and had him running behind us. I guess I wasn't thinking about that. Yeah, we didn't spawn him in until later. I was thinking we spawned him in when we started off. Alright, got our flashing yellows. Go. I guess that's approach medium. We'll just kind of ease along up there. We don't have to get in no hurry. We're starting to get into the terminal. Those mountains are nice. I know I said it in one of the other videos. I really wonder, like, where about in those mountains we actually cross. Like, where is Tehachapi? It has to be over here. It has to be over here, because you kind of, when you come into the UP, the old SP line, you kind of like 45 into it a little bit, you know, and so it's kind of running this way. Roughly. So I wonder where exactly is the crossing? Is it over here? Like, is it down here, or is it over here, or is it in the middle? I don't know. I need to like fly over there sometime, you know, like just fly from a straight line. Fly in a straight line from back there, just and see where you wind up. Yeah, I gotta start slowing up here. Got 25 and 2.3. Got approach. I think medium speed for the being is 40, right? I think it is. I'm not positive on that. I don't like I said, I'm not really a West Coast guy. I'm not really sure how long this block is. I don't think it's a short block. I think we're all right. All right, approaching Jastro. Thought we were going to cross over. Are we not? There we go. He just gave us a light. So if you haven't noticed, we're going to meet the U-Burrick. I'm going to let you figure out what that is. See if you can figure out before we get to it. Some of you may very well know what the U-Burrick is. The Burrick. I don't even know if that train's a thing anymore. It may not be. Was back in the day. Alright, where is our stop going to be? Because we came in with an approach. Now, we peeked the dispatcher's board, and we know he's showing us lined. Of course, what he's showing us may not be what's there in real life, but you'd still have to go around there looking out. I think he's just right up here around his curve. I think I asked that question the very last time I came through here too. I don't know. I don't run it enough to remember. We'll see. Yeah, Gomez. Okay, it's coming up here. This thing should stop pretty good if you got some air under it. If you got a decent amount under it, it should stop pretty quick. Yep, there it is, in fact. All right, what do we got? Yeah, diverging approach medium, it looks like. Let's see what it says when we go through it. Question is, where's our next light at? I think the next one is down towards the crew change, maybe down there. So I left a comment a while back. I meant to reply back to it and I forgot, but they asked this is if Run 8's available on Steam. No, it's at run8.com. You can only get it at run8.com. It's not on Steam. And they do have some Amtrak DLC for it as well too. West Bakersfield. Is that a light for us or not? I don't... Yeah, it is actually. That is a light for us. Yeah, it absolutely is. What do we got? Looks like a clear, right? Yeah, I think we got a clear. Okay, that spooked me for a second because that is a short block. That's a short one between Gomez and here. And then with that curve, I was like, oh, we're gonna have to grab some air. There we go. There's our other train. All right, we got it clear. We can go in with it. We can roll with it. That sign say there, NCTC, nice. Yeah, man, this Burrick is dragging like crazy. Man, that's a draggy train. That's definitely one we need to run. We need to take that thing sometime. That'd be a good one. That thing's a little bowling ball. That's crazy. We wound up meeting that Rick bar and we've kind of run up behind him a little bit there. All right, guys, here's a U Burrick. If you guessed coiled steel, you would be correct. Pretty cool train, right? I remember these. I want to say the coil steel train that I took the time in real life that it originated down at Blunt Island in Jacksonville at the port down there. It was import steel, and we took it to the BNSF East Thomas, and I want to say that train wound up going to Richmond. Something makes me think it did. It may not have, but. All right, steel train looks good. Marker's working. That's a pretty cool train. I like that. That's a good one. That one is most definitely a challenge. If you haven't done that little 4,000-foot bowling ball, you're in for a treat. All right, guys, we finally made it to Bakersfield. We're going to go ahead and end it here. Thanks so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Love hearing from you guys, and we'll catch you on the rails next time. Peace. Big cat, no. Oh no, kitty. Oh, that's a MiG. That's a MiG over us. Okay, it's the weirdest day ever. Oh no, he just fell. He just fell.